This is still the POLITY, and we're reaching you live from the Abuja studios of Kaftan TV. Right now, I have Comrade Samuel Danjuma, a political analyst and also an APC chieftain with me in the studio. And with him today, we're going to be analyzing some of the issues making the rounds. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, my brother.
It's good to have you here on the program today. And it's so fascinating to understand that you are from Kogi State. Yeah. And by so doing, I want us to start from home. In Kogi State, Kogi State has been in the news, for so many reasons for some time now. But then I want us to, take it right from the previous administration. As an APC chieftain, as a Nigerian, how would you honestly assess the performance of the previous administration in Kogi State led by Governor Yahaya Bello without ifs or buts?
I think if there's any person whose administration was not related to the people, what do I mean by well related? Where people were not actually told the truth about what governance and what he did as a governor of Kogi State is one person I would say is Yahaya Bello. Governor Yahaya Bello, former Governor Yahaya Bello, did very well as a governor. Rising from the minority tribe, he did his best. A lot of projects. You thank God we are from same state. You know about the Kogi State University, the Kaba campus, the one in Osara, the rest of them, the roads, infrastructure, the general hospitals he built, security generally, welfare of the people. He did his best as governor. And the only thing he suffered, he had a lot of people in his government who were not ready to speak well of him because they just wanted to give a dog a bad name just to kill it. Because while he got into government, before then it was known that government was government of the old. Yahaya Bello as governor brought in young people, youth, vibrant youth into the system, and they did excellently well. So I would give it to Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello did very well as governor of Kogi State, and Kogi State is better for it, and Kogi State is improving on it. We all know that it was the time of Yahaya Bello. Kogi was now able to be one of the states who is partaking from or is benefiting from the 13% derivation of crude oil derivation. It wasn't there before then. Lots of lofty programs and policies of his administration. Just what he suffered was he didn't have people who were actually telling the populace or telling their people back at home what Governor Yahaya Bello was doing as governor. The Umomi erosion site is there for us to see. We also had, while he was governor, the World Bank came out to say he was one governor who was prudent, one governor who his books were okay, but then, and one governor who performed excellently well. Okay,
but then you've been so heavy on the fact that the previous administration didn't have enough people, to come out and, talk more about their achievements. Before the coming of Yahaya Bello, there was a more like a laid down order, the old order of things in the Nigerian politics, where you see people of a certain age bracket, in the helms of affairs, when it comes to governance. But then the coming of Yahaya Bello, tilted the movement. But then, no matter how we try to see this, for Yahaya Bello's 8 years reign as governor of Kogi State, there will always be this question asked of his administration, which is the salaries, the payment of salary. Till Yahaya Bello left as governor of Kogi State, bulk of Kogi citizens were complaining that they were paid their salaries in percentages. They were paid their some even complained of the fact that they don't even get salaries at all. And there is the issue of the move to remove ghost workers, which a lot of people have felt like they were unjustly, taken out of the system just because of the government's personal, interest. What are your thoughts on this? How would you speak to the teeming population of Kogites that are saying that for Yahaya Bello's 8 years reign in Kogi State, I was deprived of my salary, my sacrifice to the development of Kogi State was not rewarded?
With all fairness to Governor Yahaya Bello, before Yahaya Bello's coming as governor of Kogi State, we should be fair to him. Percentage salary did not start from the time of Yahaya Bello.
So if percentage salary did not start from the time of Yahaya Bello, it justifies why it just...
No. I'm not saying it justifies. I'm just telling you now, let's be fair to this man, this young man. The percentage salary did not start from the time of Yahaya Bello. Percentage salary started even in the government of the PDP before Yahaya Bello became governor of Kogi State. Now, what Yahaya Bello was, or his intentions were, to weed the system. We had people who were working and taking salaries from different local governments, and why they were working in one local government. Okay. So there were ghost workers that Yahaya Bello's administration was to do what? Make sure we clean our books, which we should commend him for. And after that, we should also see that before now, in the 8 years of Yahaya Bello, we know, even in the 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari, there were lots of bailouts for states because of the level of hardship and the level of difficulties that all the states, not just Kogi State, suffered. So it wasn't just peculiar, just about Kogi State alone. Yahaya Bello did his best. And now what Yahaya Bello did, like I tell people, it's consolidating on what Yahaya Bello did now is what the present governor is doing. As we speak, the present state's workers and local government workers are no more collecting the exact percentage they were taking under Yahaya Bello, because now the books are cleaner. We now know the real workers. So we now know who are supposed to get this. So
I want us to take this discussion precept by precept. Okay. You just noted now that as we speak now, some of the workers in Kogi State are no longer receiving the previous percentage.
No.
They are receiving. Is it that they are now receiving what they are supposed to be receiving, or the percentage has been increased?
Now, it's a gradual process. What is happening now is that the books are clean now.
And the percentage
has increased over 80%.
But not what they should be. Not yet
100%. What they deserve. They felt they should get. And we all know. No. I'm going somewhere.
No, is it what they feel they should get, or what they deserve?
What they deserve, what they feel they should get. We are all driving at the same point.
No, we can't be driving at the same point. Because in Nigeria right now, if you ask me in Nigeria, as a Nigerian right now, I'll tell you I deserve to work. I deserve to be earning per minute. I'll tell you I deserve to live all the most luxurious lifestyle. But there is apart from what I deserve. There is what is what should come. That percentage that is going to Kogi State workers right now, is it what should actually be going to them?
As we speak, Kogi State workers are earning over 80% of their salaries and is being paid as at when due. As we speak, Kogi State workers have taken salary for March, even before the end of the month. Okay. Now, I said that what Yahaya Bello did in his 8 years was to clean the books.
Okay.
We had a lot of difficulties. There was a lot of bailout for states and the rest of them to be able to pay salaries, because the economic situation of the country was not even palatable at that time.
Okay.
Now, with the resources that comes to Kogi, as we speak, we all know the level of hardship in the land. The state government has made it mandatory, first, to let people know how much comes to Kogi State. Okay. And Kogi State workers are beginning to smile home, because now they have paid the sacrifice, waited, let the process run, and now it's so in the coming days everything will normalize, because by now we have been able to know who are supposed to be workers and who were ghost workers before now. Now, most of the time when people say they were unjustly, when you say you're unjustly retrenched, there's the industrial court. How many of them approached the industrial court if truly they were unjustly sacked? Now, we have the issue in Kaduna State. We remember then when teachers were sacked. And why were they sacked? Because even teachers could not even answer questions that or questions that children they were teaching. They were meant to teach the children. So most time we shouldn't. I think our problem is that we're all too sentimental in this part of the world. We don't want to accept the fact that we were wrong, because some of these people, some of them did not have the qualification. Some of them were not supposed to be where they were, and along the line, and some of them were not even workers. They were not workers anywhere. So government has been able to clean their books. Worker salary has improved. Worker salary has been, the workers in Kogi State are now smiling home because they get their salaries as at when due, even before the end of the month, and it's improving as the day goes by. This is why I said in government there's continuum. One government comes, starts the process, the next government comes and continue. So Kogi State should be happy to have the APC administration in Kogi State, and now the former APC administration has ended. There's another new APC administration, and we are continuing consolidating on what Yahaya Bello's administration has started for the betterment of the people of Kogi State. So
talking about we all know government is a continuum. The Yahaya Bello administration has come and gone, but then it's something that Kogites will not stop talking about in a hurry and in a very long time. Some time ago I had an interview, I had a discussion with another Kogite here who was a spokesperson to one of the gubernatorial aspirants in the previous gubernatorial elections in Kogi State, and he made some allegations which I would want you to listen to it. So I would want my director to play that very footage for my guest here to see.
You will need to go to Kogi to see how people are living. I think the people in Gaza are living a better life than most of the places in Kogi, including the place where the former governor and the current incumbent governor comes from. Now, which case will you take to court that you will get in judgment? Somebody like Adeniyi, who has bribed even those, let me tell you now, somebody who contested for governorship election, before the election, he said he was provided. You will need to go to Kogi to see how people are living. I think the people in Gaza are living a better life than most of the places in Kogi, including the place where the former governor and the current incumbent governor comes from. Now, which case will you take to court that you will get in judgment? Somebody like Adeniyi, who has bribed even those, let me tell you now, somebody who contested for governorship election, before the election, he said he was providing evidences everywhere that of the amount of billions Yahaya Bello looted. After the election, he didn't even go to court. He did not even go again for Yahaya Bello he did not go to even protest for EFCC to arrest Yahaya Bello. He did not provide evidence for all the criminal activities of Yahaya Bello. What happened? He has bribed them. That man is still living. He contested for governorship election, didn't go to court. But before the election, he was shouting with evidence. Yahaya Bello picked him because he knows he's not only unqualified, but also very unfit to occupy the position of a councillor in the world.
Well, he was the commissioner of finance in the state.
No, not commissioner for finance. I'm from Kogi State. He's not the commissioner. He has never been commissioner for finance. He was only in charge of, he was auditor general for local government.
He was auditor general.
Anybody in that South Yahaya Bello's government is an irresponsible person or a criminal. If you don't have any of these attributes, he will never give you the position. It is either you are a criminal, you have a case in a court, or the police or the security agencies are looking for you. Now, I give you this now so that you will not be loyal to him, or you are such an irresponsible person that you take whatever he says. Now, he's in government house and is the governor of Kogi State. Let me tell you, anybody from Kogi State knows that if you want to get anything, you don't need to go to the official governor. You need to go to Yahaya Bello, who is the authentic governor of Kogi State. This one officially is the governor, but who is actually carrying the activities, the work of a governor? He gives this one order to do whatever. In short, Yahaya Bello can tell this one to divorce his wife, and he will do that immediately because it's like a court.
Welcome back now, Comrade Samuel. Those were very heavy allegations. Yahaya Bello, according to him, he alleged that Yahaya Bello embezzled, mismanaged the Kogi State funds to the tune of 84 billion naira, according to what EFCC, announced. But according to him, he also said that the amount is way more than that. He accused Yahaya Bello of hand-picking Governor Usman Odudo so that he can continue to govern Kogi State by proxy. What are your thoughts on this?
You saw the way I started laughing by the time I was done watching this clip. This is not just only laughable. Most times I wonder how people sit at the comfort or at their comfort zone and throw shades at other people just to gain relevance and the rest of them. If truly you have all this evidence against Yahaya Bello, he's no more in government. So why have you not gone after Yahaya Bello with all this evidence and come up with all this evidence? See, there's a difference between a spokesperson. What I mean is spokesperson who is talented, who is passionate, who is gifted to be a spokesperson, and there's a difference between a paid spokesperson. A paid spokesperson will always want to say what his paid masters will be comfortable with, so that whenever they hear him, they will be able to pay him more. But this guy is not. I know His Excellency Yahaya Bello will not waste his time responding to people like this, because first, what has he been able to do as a person? In his own local, someone who ran for local government chairman and was not able to get about 4 or 5 votes in his own local government where he comes from. He's not well known. It's not just to come around or come on TV station and be laying allegation. Bello did this. Now you are from Kogi, I'm from Kogi State. It's Kogi State. The people of Kogi State live like people in Gaza.
But I wanted to react to the specifics in that very allegation.
One, it is a lie from the pit of hell. People of Kogi are not living as if they are in Gaza. Governor Yahaya Bello did excellently well for the people of the Central Senatorial District and every part of the state. I said something here. The issue with Yahaya Bello is that Yahaya Bello did not have people around who were passionate about his administration, who were ready to speak up, because there was a tragedy. There's a way they lived before now that it was just about praise singing. They were not too comfortable with someone who was an achiever and somebody who was able to deliver. Yahaya Bello delivered above their expectation, and they're all willing. If Yahaya Bello had not done well, where would he have been able to gather the votes he gathered for the presidential election in February, and also for the governorship election? Yahaya Bello only told the people what he has done, sold the candidates to the people, and the people bought it because they believed in him and knew that somebody who has achieved, who has delivered as a governor of Kogi State. See, it's high time we stop these politics of calumny, policies of let me pull him down at all costs. Yahaya Bello is supposed to be celebrated in Kogi instead of pulling Yahaya Bello down. So I put it to him, if he's true that he has all this evidence of Yahaya Bello looting, Yahaya Bello doing this, Yahaya Bello putting that, Yahaya Bello, this is.
But then talking about how he was able to gather the numbers at the presidential election and also at the gubernatorial election, I was personally in Kogi State during the voting process, so I covered the elections in real time, and particularly in places like Ogori, Magongo, where where some electoral officials were caught with pre-signed electoral materials, pre-signed result sheets. What would you say? What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on that? And on the other hand, there is the sudden surprise about the total number of registered voters that suddenly came out from the central part of Kogi State, which is something that has never that has not been a norm before now. What used to be the norm in Kogi State was that Kogi East had the largest numbers. What suddenly changed, and does this give credence to the fact that Governor Yahaya Bello, former Governor Yahaya Bello, manipulated the process in favor of Governor Usman Odudo so that he can continue to govern the state by proxy?
No. First thing first, he said that everyone who served in Yahaya Bello's government are criminals. The president was talking a few days ago. You can't curse, I borrow the words of my wife, you can't curse a land and expect the land to bring you good fortune. So automatically you are telling the people that don't do business with people from Kogi State because everybody in Kogi State are criminals. I'm surprised that a spokesperson of a former governorship candidate who was to govern the state could come out on air on national TV to accuse everyone in the state of being criminals. So that means automatically even him and everyone he stands to represent, as long as you're from Kogi State, you're a criminal because his principal was once in the APC. And his principal also contested for the ticket of the APC too. So are you not telling me that your principal and even you and everybody from Kogi State are criminals? Because either you like it or not, somebody from your family would have gotten a political appointment in Yahaya Bello's administration. So that means everyone who worked, those in the House of Assembly, the deputy governor, everyone were criminals. Is that what he's saying for the 8 years? We should be careful what we say when we have opportunities to talk to people, because people are looking up to us, people are listening to us, people want to learn from us. So we should be careful. Now, to the question you asked me, INEC has a guideline. INEC has stipulated disciplines or penalty for every offense, every of his official who has erred in the course of carrying out the assignment. INEC would, and I'm sure INEC should have dealt with those who came out with that. That has nothing to do with Governor Yahaya Bello. Governor Yahaya Bello was not the INEC official chairman. Governor Yahaya Bello was not the INEC official who was in charge of Kogi election. Governor Yahaya Bello was also a voter on election day. So Governor Yahaya Bello does not determine what happens to INEC. INEC is independent. So it's high time we should stop calling this, giving this man a bad name. He did his best as governor for 8 years. We should celebrate him for that. Kogi is better off than Kogi was before he became governor. So we should celebrate him for that, and not that every opportunity we have, we should bring our own and just kill, crucify, nail him to the. And it's not the best thing for us to do.
But there are allegations. There are allegations out there that some of the witnesses that are to testify on behalf of the candidate of the Social Democratic Party at the ongoing tribunals were attacked. Speak to this very issue.
See, when you don't have a case, what do? You go around beating around the bush, coming up with propaganda and all that just to make it look as if you have a case. You don't have a case.
But were the testifiers attacked?
They were not attacked.
Okay.
They were not attacked. I attend court sittings. I have not seen anywhere any of the testifiers has been attacked after court sittings for once. I will be in court tomorrow again by the special grace of God. So I don't, see, I want people from Kogi State to know that elections are over. It is time for governance. And I want the people of Kogi State to know that we are one. You are from the eastern part, you're from the central, you're from the west, we are all one. And it's high time we stop drumming the drum of war, and instead of that build peace among ourselves. Whereby I know that today there were times that the Galas were in charge of were governors in Kogi State. The Ibiras gave them all the support, the Okuns gave them all the support. Today it is now the turn of the Ibiras. The Galas should give them all the support, the Okuns should give them all the support. Tomorrow it can be the turn of the Okuns, and it can also be the turn of the Igalas. So we can live together as one. We have lived together as one peacefully before now. I don't know why the agitation and the desperation of this SDP candidate is trying to tear Kogi apart across. This is what happened in the election. We had candidates from the 3 senatorial districts in the 3 major parties, the APC, the PDP, and the SDP. And elections went across the 3 senatorial districts along ethnic lines. Along ethnic lines. Now, if I'm running for governor, I'm from Ida in Kogi State, and I'm running for governor, you don't expect me not to have the highest number of votes from either my home base. Okay. So I don't see why people feel that why should Governor Usman Ododo have the number of votes he had from Okene. We all know that it was only Governor Usman Ododo that was running for governor in the Central District. In the West, we had more than 3 candidates. In the East, we had about 9. So where do you expect the bulk of the votes to come from, to go to? The bulk of the vote, they all believed in their own and decided to rally around their own to give him the needed support to see him into government house. So you don't expect where 9 people had to share votes, including the APC candidate, the PDP, and the rest candidates, compared to a place where the people decided and said, no, this time around, our brother is here and we're giving him all the support. And that's what they did. So we should stop saying it hasn't happened. In 2019, it happened. And when again in 2023 it happened. In 2019, the bulk of the votes from those local governments were all for the candidate of the APC, which is former Governor Yahaya Bello. And now they did the same thing and said, okay, it is time, let's give all the support to our brothers. I said it, I kept shouting in different forums before the election, come together, pick one candidate from the East. Let's all rally around behind just one candidate. People said no. So why are you now blaming the people of the Central when they decided to say, okay, we have one, we're standing by the one, and we're giving the one all the vote? So that's what happened. So they should stop this. See, all I'm appealing now is, in the spirit of the season, let all the SDP candidates should do now is go to the courts, withdraw the case, give the support you need to give to the candidate of the APC. Let Kogi strive. Let Kogi develop. Let there be peace in Kogi. Go back to the drawing board. Where did you get it wrong? Where did you not get it wrong? Where one thing they don't want to tell themselves the truth is he was the one who shot himself in the leg the minute he started singing the Igala agenda.
Okay then.
Then the people from the senatorial district, they now played this politics of old Kwara versus old Benue. So we should tell our people the truth and stop deceiving our people and push. Now the state is suffering because there are cases in court. Appointments have been made. The people from the Eastern Senatorial District are lacking, have been marginalized because you are giving the picture to the Central that you don't like them, you're not in support of them, you don't want them, and you don't expect me to give my appointments to my enemy. So the governor is not even trying his best and being magnanimous in victory, reaching out to former governors, trying to make peace across the length and breadth of the state, and we should give him all the support that is needed. Okay,
then let's that'll be all for that very issue. Let's discuss some national security. And you made mention of in the spirit of the season, and I would like to take it up from there. You know, various stakeholders, clergyman Bishop Kuka has called on the present administration to come up with a template that will ensure lasting peace in the country, and part of his recommendations were coming up with this template should include a means that will highlight inclusion of certain regions of the country. On the other hand, the Chief of Army Staff, Taurid, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, has said that the army will ensure a total defeat of insurgents. This particular statement, these are things we've been hearing right from the onset of the General Buhari's administration, and we are still here right now. But I want us to start from Bishop Kuka's submissions. What are your thoughts on this? And do you see this whole thing? Do you see the President Tinubu administration being able to surmount all of these challenges, talking about inclusion of certain regions of the country, talking about the insecurity situation, and if we must tell ourselves the truth, we all know that the power situation in the country for the past few weeks now have been at its all-time low. What are your thoughts on this?
No,
I'm asking you this because you're an APC chieftain.
I want to start from the issue of security. Okay. The issue of security is every man's business, and it's high time we all. Yes,
sorry to cut you short. The issue of security is every man's business, but there are people who have taken an oath to stand in the gap on behalf of every man. As the president is the chief security officer of the country. So if anything goes wrong, we go to the president.
Now, I said earlier, security is every man's business.
Okay.
And our security personnel are not wizards. They are not spirits. They are humans. And it boils back to when you see something, you say something. Are Nigerians actually sincere? Are Nigerians actually telling themselves the truth? Are Nigerians saying things? And because these guys are not ghosts, they live among us. They live within us. Have we been able to tell ourselves when we see strange faces, when we see strange people raise up and tell people that, we'll tell the security agencies that this is what I've noticed, this is what is this. And as security agencies also be sincere enough to give people the needed covering, that when I tell you about something, you won't go tell the person that I was the one that actually told you. We should be asking ourselves this question.
And also, we've seen situations whereby, patriotic citizens go to the security agencies to report certain observations, and they are arrested. They are taken as culprits for such.
That's why I said.
So, for you to be able to see something and say something, you need to have confidence in the system. So, do you think the security agencies have done enough to be able to win the confidence of the citizens?
The security agencies are doing their best, and there's room for improvement. We've noticed the NSA said some few months ago that there have been a lot of rescue operations that have not been in the public glare like we all expected. A lot of things have been done. This administration means well. This administration wants the best for Nigeria. We look at the issue of the Kaduna children kidnap or school student kidnap, and we saw the speed at which government went to. At least this is the first time, at least in less than 2 weeks, they were released, and the rest of them. What we want is a situation whereby it won't even happen. It will be nipped on the bud before it happens. This government is doing a lot, and I know this government will do more, much more, before even the end of the year. We'll begin to see most of the results of all this government policy and the rest of them. The present administration is doing its best. Is doing better off than when they came in, and the situation is improving. But it's just that there are some people who benefit from this thing, and no matter what you do, they feel you are coming to close their shops, so they will fight back. I remember the former president saying that if you fight corruption, corruption will come back to haunt you. So it's the first thing is there should be an attitudinal change among the citizens. The citizens should be ready to tell themselves, I always say this thing, the honest truth. Do you want a prosperous, secured, safe country? Or are you based on your own personal greed and personal interest at the expense of the lives of the millions of Nigerians? If that's what you want, then the security agencies are ready and are prepared to come for you. I've had the chief of defense staff said repeatedly that they are ready, and they will clamp down on insecurity in the country. So let's give them the support. Let's give them the needed assistance. Intelligence gathering, I said, is the hallmark of every security agency. Yeah, so we should be ready to speak up, and let our security agency also be willing to give people that human face, whereby I'm free to talk to you, and it will not be at my own detriment, or I won't be arrested or victimized.
My freedom won't be at risk.
At risk for telling you. So this administration is doing excellently well. This administration is taking the issue of security as a number 1 priority, and with the coming days, even with the trust and the confidence of investors from outside the country and within the country, you begin to know that the country issue of security in Nigeria has begun to improve, and is improving as the day goes by. Before now, some few weeks ago, you know what the FCT was. Now the security of the FCT has improved, and I know it will go across the length and breadth of the country, and certainly Nigeria will be good for it. So the issue of security, the present administration is doing excellently well, and there's room for improvement.
Our time is fast running out, but there are still certain issues I want us to discuss. You talked about the fact that this administration has been doing excellently well. At least they are doing better than how they came into the scheme of things. But then if you say the administration is doing very well, right now, we now have more people who are living below the poverty line. We now have more people who can no longer afford 3 square meals in a day. Right now, we now have people who can no longer, afford the very basics that that weren't an issue before now. And everything. We all know what the naira to dollar is saying right now. 1,309 naira which it closed with the naira closed at against the dollar yesterday, now feels like a very big achievement compared to what we used to have around 600, 700 during the previous administration. What are your thoughts on this? Can you still honestly say that this government is on the right path? And secondly, because I want to ask you this two questions, and I want you to unbundle them in one breath. Secondly, do you think the measures this administration have taken to, fight the dollar against naira, do you think they are sustainable enough?
I'll start with the dollar thing. It boils back to people not being told the truth. It was in the same country that the dollar was being subsidized in the former administration, which the present administration has come and said no, and he has stood his ground. I remember, I don't know if it's on your station or on another sister station, where I said I don't see any sane country or clan whereby their foreign exchange rate is being determined by illiterates on the streets, or like we have them on the streets of Zone 4, Bureau change and the rest of them. And I think this government had, and if you go, as we speak now, if you go to Zone 4, it's like a ghost land whereby you see these guys before, and you can see the result. Now, it's dropping on a daily basis, and it will keep dropping, But one thing is, Nigerians expect magic. These things are not magic. These things are processes. This administration has put in the right policies in place that will run the test of time. It is sustainable. It will bring the dollar down to where it's supposed to be. But we should also know that you don't expect whereby 99% of all you need is being exported for your currency to rise above the currency of the country where you are importing these things from. Okay. So in the coming days, it will begin. It's now, I think what we should be doing is what we should spend our foreign reserves for the best reasons, not for lecture or for, and this government is doing excellently well, like I said earlier. Why? Because a few days ago the president came out and gave an order that no government agency or government official appointee should go on any foreign trip with government funding in the next 3 months. And this has cut down drastically on government spending and the rest of them. It is sustainable. We should appreciate this, the policies of this government. We should believe in it. It is going to be for the good of Nigerians. We can see what the Niger State governor is doing when it comes to agriculture, and that is going across the length and breadth of the country. So in the coming, I said, between now and December, Nigerians will see reasons to say, Father, thank you. We have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as our president, because absolutely he came prepared and is ready to give Nigeria the best by the time he's going to retire, like what the wife says I think yesterday or day before yesterday, he's going to retire into a better and more prosperous Nigeria at the time he's done as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the policies are beautiful, they are improving on it on a daily basis, and it's sustainable, and it's to take Nigeria to the promised land.
Comrade Samuel Danjuma, APC chieftain and also a political analyst, thank you so much for your very insightful analysis on the program today, and we also hope to have you on the program again some other time.
No problem.
Soonest.
Thank you very much.
And this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the program. Do well to join us again, same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Francis Adeniyi. Bye.